Welcome back to D-Living. Do you remember when the internet first became available and chat rooms turned into a nightmare for some parents
Scary
and some
places.
kids? Yeah, absolutely. Well, with the emergence of social media, there are even more problems facing families, like privacy and just keeping your kids safe in general, right? Well, John Kaufman, president of Advice Interactive Group, is here to explain a little more about it. Hi, John.
Good morning.
Thanks
How's
for being
everybody?
here.
I'm surrounded today.
You are.
Yeah.
You are outnumbered.
That's okay.
Well, so this is a pretty hot topic because every day on the news there's something about some social media faux pas that an employee committed or a child, committed or whatever. What are some steps we could take to prevent this from being a part of our story?
Yeah, so social media over the years has become kind of like a personification of everything that we do normally, except it's stuck online. So you see cases
Yeah,
from...
it does not go away.
No, everywhere. So, I mean, the typical tip for an adult is don't do anything that your grandmother wouldn't want to see online. Okay, so be careful with everything that you're doing. Talk to your kids about it. I mean, there's a whole step of different things that can happen. From not getting a job or getting questioned about certain things, even though there's legalities that protect you in terms of getting employed and different things like that.
Right.
It's still, people are still looking, right? So as an adult, you've got to be intelligent about what you're doing. You've got to understand that anything you do these days is stuck there forever.
From a parent's point of view, I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, and yours are teenagers.
Yes, 16 and 17.
But how do we impress this upon our children who don't really have the perspective that we have, that this is there to stay?
So it's such a tagline, but it starts with the parents, right? You can't teach your kids how to drive unless you have a driver's license and you understand what's going on. I think the biggest issue that we see is that parents don't fully understand social media. Maybe they're getting into it, or they're looking at Facebook, or they're looking at Twitter, maybe Instagram. You've got to know what it is that your kids are doing online. You've seen examples in Steubenville, Ohio, where the two kids posted some information, which was actually great because they actually were convicted against the 16-year-old girl. But things like that are happening all over the place, and you've got to understand what it is you're talking about, or you can't talk effectively to your kids.
That is such good advice, because I have so many friends who don't even know what Instagram is, and quite frankly, I mean, that is the social media of choice for kids in at least our circle.
Yes.
Right.
In your experience, is that true?
Yes, they don't post as much to Facebook anymore. They're posting their pictures to Instagram.
Right.
So that's one of those things that you need to watch. I'm very fortunate that my children are very open about that. But I have some friends who have no idea what Instagram is.
Well, and they don't know
Yes.
to tell their children to set it to private.
Right.
Right.
So many of them. I mean, that's how I spy on my kids' friends.
Which
the
is
ones
great.
that don't have them set to private.
And you
You're
want
exactly right.
access,
Yeah.
right? But now you've got the emergence. We
Sure.
were talking backstage about Twitter Vine, and you've got
Yes.
these 6-second videos that are going up, and kids are using Instagram and different things. And it will stick with them whether they do something. Kids are going to do stupid things, right? And teenagers are going to do stupid things, and adults are going to do stupid things. Just understanding and getting it through that, look, you are going to be in big trouble if you put this stuff and this stuff sticks online. You're allowed to do dumb stuff. You're not allowed to do dumb stuff that sticks online. I think adults, actually, I know we're talking about kids, but even adults are completely guilty of this. How many times, if you look at social media, it doesn't even click in your head that you put something online that's like, hey, I'm going to this party with X, Y, and Z.
Guess what?
You have just opened yourself up to an invitation for any predator out there within 5 seconds to figure out where you live, what your address is, and when you're going to be gone. So posting future data, huge, absolutely, thinking about
That's a
what you're
good
doing.
point, yeah. Future data is probably something that you should always stay away from.
Right.
Well, I saw something on the news recently where a gentleman was able to find out such intimate information. They said he was a psychic, but he was able to tell people all these things about their lives, and it was solely based on him going through their social media.
Absolutely.
It's amazing what you can learn about people.
Right. With all the data that's out there right now, everything that's being stored within various data centers, and I don't care if it's private or not, if it goes on the internet, someone, somewhere, somehow can figure out what it is and where it's going. You look at pictures these days, people that are posting pictures, you look at your Facebook profile, if you have a profile of yourself on there. I've seen instances just in the last couple weeks where individuals are finding their pictures, if they just do a Google search of themselves and going to images, and they're finding their pictures have actually been stolen off of their Facebook profiles and used to lure other people into pornographic websites or different types of content
and-
just in the last couple weeks.
What you may have noticed too is, you know, your kids will get friend requests or I want to follow you requests, and the picture looks like a typical kid.
Right.
But who's to say who that really is? Who just grabbed that picture of typical kid and
Right.
gave themselves a typical kid name?
Right.
And
I
there's-
tell my kids, if you don't know them firsthand, don't
Exactly.
accept
That's
it.
that's great advice. And of the over about 1 billion people that are on, if you just look at Facebook, and I know that's not where everybody is right now, but if you just look at Facebook, there's been estimates out there that 10%, almost 100 million of those individuals are either criminals, fake profiles, sexual predators, whatever they may be. Now, Facebook's gonna write me an evil message on that, but I mean, this is a pretty good sized number of people that are out there, and think about as a teenager, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to get new friends, you've got to let them know that they cannot friend people that they don't know, or they cannot follow someone they don't know. And if people are following them that they don't know, they've got to get ahead of that, and you've got to be monitoring what it is they're doing. There's too many things that you can get in trouble with now online, and that can affect you for the rest of your life.
That is so true.
Yes. Yeah.
I will be deleting some photos off of Facebook as soon as
I
this.
know.
I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Well, if you would like some more information about social media trends, you can visit adviceinteractivegroup.com/TV. And you can also send questions for John and the experts at Advice Interactive Group there. And you can tweet them at Advice Interactive Group, #BizVisible.
Don't tweet them any questionable pictures.
That's
though.
exactly right.
Or steal my picture.
Or steal us. That's right.